Italy's ruling Brothers of Italy party has introduced a bill to ban the burqa and niqab face and body covering in all public spaces, calling it a bill against Islamic separatism. The proposal is part of a broader bill intended to address what the right-wing party of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has described as cultural separatism associated with Islam. Italy appears to be inspired by the French, or the first European country to introduce a full burqa ban in 2011. Since then, Belgium, Denmark, Switzerland and several other countries in Europe and around the world have imposed bans on women's clothing related to Islam. The proposed law also toughens penalties for forced marriages, criminalizes virginity testing, defining these as cultural crimes. It introduces provisions for prosecuting religious coercion and imposes transparency requirements on religious organizations that lack formal agreements with the Italian state, a category that includes all Muslim organizations. Under the proposal, these groups would have to disclose foreign funding and accept restrictions on donations from entities considered a security threat. However, Muslim groups have condemned the proposal, warning it could deepen social divide. Quote unquote, freedom of choice is a fundamental principle in a democratic society. No state should dictate how a woman should dress, said Yassine Lafram, president of the Union of Islamic Communities of Italy. Quote open, any legislative measures that impose blanket ban risks creating social tensions and discrimination rather than fostering integration and dialogue. Quote close. According to Italy's Islamic associations, around 2 million Muslims live in the country, most of them migrant workers and their families. The Pew Research Center estimated in 2020 that the figure could be closer to 3 million, roughly 5% of the Italy's population. While 1975 Italian law already bans full face covering in public, it does not explicitly mention the burqa or niqab. Some regions such as Lombardy have local restrictions on entering a public building or hospitals with faces covered. Italy's proposals come amid a broader European debate on religious expression and secularism. The European Court of Human Rights has upheld such bans, ruling in 2017 that states may restrict face veils to protect the principle of living together in society. On this issue, I'm joined by Francisca Merino, author and South Asia expert. She joins me live from Rome. Madam,
good evening.
Thank you so much. Madam, is this a result of unchecked immigration creating problems in European societies because instead of integrating with the host culture, parallel societies, closed spaces get created?
It is this. I would say first one thing. In this country, covering your face is anyway illegal. There is a law, 1975 law, issued when we had our own domestic terrorism problem. So you cannot go in public spaces covering your face. This, of course, does not cover the burqa for the simple reason in 1975, I doubt the majority of people here knew what a burqa was. Now, yes, there's an increase of immigration. Around my house, there's a huge Bangladeshi community, and I found myself fighting a number of times with people in the street, making children like 6, 7 years old wearing a burqa. It comes from a faraway place, and this is why we are so sensitive about this. This proposal come quite late. You know, in this country, honor killings have been banned in 1982. In this country, till 1969, when a Sicilian girl called Franca Viola refused to marry her rapist and so allow him to go free, there was a law like this. We fought for it, and none of us has intention to go back for cultural assimilation. Yeah, this is Italy. Assimilate to us. I think the opposite is an insult to the memory of our grandmothers and mothers who fought for freedom.
Do you think, is it particularly to do with Islam? Because Italy also has a lot of Sikhs, a lot of Hindus.
See, it has to, covering your face, I don't see any other people, women belonging to any other religion covering your face. But first of all, the law, the existing law, has to do with public security. So anybody who covers their face in a public space should and could be sanctioned. Now, the point is, I think, first of all, the guys going demonstrating with their face covered should be fined and stopped, not only Muslim women, but of course, the law is not implemented because of cultural assimilation and because of the misplaced and misunderstood message, and not in so much innocent will, that burqa is a choice. This is something that has been fed to young people for years. Is a choice. And when you tell them no, it's never a choice. Never. I don't know a single woman who's not victim of social pressure. But also this proposed ban comes from a long string of Pakistani and Bangladeshi origin girls in Italy being murdered, being harassed, abused, forced to have miscarriages, taken by force back to Pakistan.
Do you feel that the liberal laws failed Italians? They should have been tougher. Italian laws.
See, the problem is the law is there. Then you have judges and you have politicians saying, oh, you know what? A poor fellow coming from there should know that here raping a child is a crime. And I quote, I can tell you the name of the politician, a lady, by the way, which is amazing. We had
shocking.
the case. Yeah, it's shocking and is frankly disgusting.
Absolutely.
So we have a long string of girls. The last one was called Saman, was Pakistani, killed, and her mom is still in Pakistan, protected by Pakistanis.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this everyone should welcome this law, and this separatism fueled by religious bigotry must be contended and must be challenged and must be restricted.
As I told you, we fought for it. It's not that this country, when I was growing up, was Sweden. We fought for it. And now I have to see people telling me these things and covering their face is a sign of submission. Then there's the other set. The other set is the founding of masjids. They think that even though the law is there and they cannot give speech in other languages, they do.
Absolutely. Madam, I run short of time. I completely agree with you that this law is very, very welcome. Perhaps this law should have been formulated 10 years before. But it also has to do with the fact that there's so much of immigration taking place in Europe, which is unchecked, that these lot of populations fail to integrate with the host countries.